How's it going today? Today we're going to talk about how I made over $500 in the stock market today. Stick to the end of the video. I could give you some stock picks that boost my portfolio up. A lot of them up over 5, 6, 7%. Just stick away to the end of the video. I go explain it. But I'm just going to get into a quick overview of what happened in the stock market and what you can learn from it, what you can take away from it, and how you can basically do the same results. It's basically it's pretty easy. For the most part, I can walk you through it. I can leave a link down my Facebook page and all the stocks I recommend. But I'm just going to get right into it. Basically, the Fed Reserve is basically a market sell-off and everything, and that's why it's always important to make sure you buying stocks when the market goes down and it's in these corrections or whatever. You have to be in there. You have to take advantage of it. So essentially, and the best way to do it, and honestly, you just have to. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. They just have to kind of feel the market. I know that's kind of weird, but when you see the media going on about how the stock market is terrible and all the fear gets in there, that's usually a good indicator that we almost hit a bottom, or not a bottom, but really a buy-in part. I use this S&P oscillator type thing. You can look up. Basically, it'll say we overbought, and basically we're overbought. You get a bounce. So essentially, you always have to buy. And what happened yesterday? So essentially, I mean, the market sold off for no really good reason. It's been selling off for really. And the trade thing is good, but a lot of these stocks, in the end of the video that I'm going to share with you, that went up a lot, they really have no exposure to China. So essentially, they shouldn't really get hit, but they get hit. So essentially, the whole market gets sold off, and all these stocks, a lot of them, they're all kind of connected. So essentially, once the market sells off, they all sell off. So essentially, that's what happens. So essentially, that's why I was looking at some of them in these positions, and sometimes they just get well oversold. So essentially, and you have to take advantage of that. And really, what I do also is I kind of go look on Facebook on these groups. Once I see a lot of people they go on about money, how much money they made off of the shorting it and putting all these put options, and they start going on about how much money they make off of it. Usually the money's really already kind of made in the shorts, for a while. I mean, it might go back to the other way. It just kind of swings back and forth. It's like a pendulum. It just kind of swings, and like the center of it is actually where the market should be at, but it really rarely stays there. So essentially, that's just how the market works. So essentially, if you understand that, you really kind of make both ways. Now you probably me making this video, kind of going to show you how much money. I'm not saying the market might take some profit taking tomorrow. So essentially, it might go down. So essentially, that's what happens when you get these big swings, and that honestly, what could happen then is so essentially, the market goes up, it could take profit, then people think it's correcting, so it goes down even more, and then it bounces back, and that's what happens in these volatile kind of time. So it's actually, you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing. And it's really an excellent time. I can leave some links, and I'm going to talk about these stocks that went up extraordinary because at the end of the video. But anyway, basically that's where you can see getting in there at the right times and everything. So essentially, that's really all it takes. Of how basically, getting into it any farther, I could talk about these the free stocks that basically exploded upwards today. I mean, they went up quite a bit. I mean, as you can see, you can just put a little bit of money on them, and they could be one heck of a return. Basically, I'm just going to count them down. Number one, I can leave that to the end. Of course, the big kahuna. But basically, MongoDB is one. Basically, it's a database. I've actually made a video. I could go a little bit more in details in that video. I could leave a link down in the descriptions. Basically, MongoDB is it's like a database cloud type stuff. So essentially, I mean, it has really no exposure to China. It doesn't really do any deals in China. So essentially, some of the companies it works with does, okay? So essentially, everything has really that with the global economics has a little bit, but not as much as it's been hit. So essentially, it went down over, I think, 3% the other day, and now it's just popping up. You know what I mean? So essentially, that was a good time to get involved with it. And the last one is zscaler. It's a cloud computing company. I like a lot of these cloud companies. I can leave a link actually in the description explain this one and some other cloud stocks I like too. So essentially, I'm really a big fan of these cloud stocks. So essentially, with zscaler is basically a cybersecurity that protects basically the cloud data and all that. So essentially, I mean, it had an earnings report, it dropped down, and I normally every single time, especially in these negative markets, you have to. And this stock went up over 8% today. Well, as I'm filming this, I mean, it might go down a little bit. Like I said, profit taking is always a thing when these stocks go up. So especially because, I mean, you really think about it, I mean, people's made thousands of dollars off this, almost millions off of it, really, if you think about it. But anyway, the bottom line is it went basically 7% today, over 7%, around 8%. So essentially, it has a great earnings, but as soon as it sells off, if you ever see this is why you always have to, what I call, listen in the bubble on these earnings. You don't really listen to the media and all this crap. The media will always steer you wrong because they always tell you to do something you're not supposed to do. When they're telling you to sell everything and the market's going to crash, that's when you should be looking for bargains. And when the market's all the way up and doing that, you should be actually selling or really, maybe not selling, but just kind of sitting back. I don't really recommend selling at the peak, per se. I kind of a long-term hold, long-term view. That's how you get massive gains. That's how I got over 15 times on NVIDIA. I didn't do that in a day. It took over a couple years. So essentially on Shopify, the next company I'm going to recommend, is the big winner. I mean, it's been destroying it, basically crushing it, and it has the same kind of thing that's going on with zscaler. It had a great quarter and it sold off for some reason, and sometimes the market's like in a negative mood, so they're like, hell, if I'm going to sell that one too. So essentially, that's what happens. But you have to be, as an investor, you have to take advantage of that. You have to, in life, and really, I mean, it's a good thing. You have to take advantage of people doing stupid things, you know what I mean? It's simple as that, I mean, never sell stock just because it goes down a little bit and do dumb things. People do dumb things in the stock market, and that's what costs them a lot of money. They sell when they shouldn't, and they try to sell, and the dumbest people, they go try to sell it, then short it, and then they already lost it. So essentially, you stick with your plan, stick with the companies, and you can do well. And now the final thing, I hope it's worth the wait, is the trade desk. The trade desk is well over 10 over. Actually, at filming this, around 12%. I mean, I had an amazing day today. I mean, that's where my largest of my gains came from. So essentially, I mean, that stock is I almost want to say it's almost my largest holding now, other than in this account, on the brokerage account, on Robinhood anyway. I have a bunch of other ones. I have E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, so I can look at charts in a little bit. I don't look at charts as much as I used to, but I'm more of a kind of anyway swinging for the fence. Basically, the trade desk, I could leave another link on the description about explaining that, because it's I'm not going to get into a full, I don't want to make this too long. I just kind of want to make it an update on, basically, hopefully it helps you out and maybe bring you some of these stocks, and hopefully you can put them in your portfolio and you can have these same results. So essentially, is a trade desk. It had no great, at one of these things, it had a great quarter, but it sold off for no reason. When it does that, when it sells off for no reason, I think it was up 130 to about 230, and it sold all the way down to 170. And I actually made a video, recommend to buy it, and I said to buy it, and that was down over 17-20%. And I said to buy it, and I hope somebody listened to it, because they made a pretty good game. I think it's over 100. It's almost 113 or 114 or whatever it is. They might profit take. So I'm not going to really hate to claim numbers right now, because I'm making this video in the stock market. It keeps going. You know what I mean? So essentially, that's how it is. I got in on that. I actually got in that year, almost about a year ago. I was recommending it. I mean, this company has big opportunities. I always add to my winners, and this one thing, when I seen that pullback, you gotta pounce. You gotta pounce on it, and that's just how you make money. So essentially, you have to be aggressive. You have to know. It's just like, it's almost like if you ever been hunting or something like that, or basketball, or playing sports or anything. You know what I mean? When you see an opportunity, you nail it. You know what I mean? Just like I like football. When you watch, a football player, quarterback, when the quarterback or the defense mess up, you have to capitalize on it. And that's really what really, I mean, that could make you a lot of money in the stock market too. When you see the market pull down, You have to be in there. You have to get in there, regardless of what the media says. You do your research, do your own thinking, think for yourself, and get in there and really you can see results. So essentially, I hope for this video helped you out. Hopefully, it maybe opens up your eyes. Maybe if you're just watching this video, never invested, subscribe to my channel. I give all these stock picks for free. Actually, all these ones were all free for my stock picks that went up. So essentially, I mean, I made a bunch of other videos. So essentially, I just keep doing daily updates to help you guys out, make hopefully smart decisions and the stock market. Hopefully, someone that's been in there. I've been 2013 was my first year get into stocks, but I've been studying it all the way through 2011. It took me a while to study it. You know, I was still in high school when I was studying it, so I didn't have all the capital in the world to jump in the stock market. You know what I mean? Unless, you know, so essentially, but that was way back when. Maybe I can make a video of how I actually got started. But anyway, hopefully this video, it did. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and everybody have a good day. I hope you didn't sell. If you did, that's okay. Learn from your mistakes and move on, and you get them next time. The stock market will open up tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So essentially, there's always money to be made. So essentially, that's how it is. So hopefully this video helped. Just subscribe. I can leave all the links down in the description of all the stocks I talked about. Of course, all my videos I leave links so you guys can learn more about it, where I could jump in details and make basically a whole video of talking about the stock. But anyway, I hope that helped you, and thank you, and have a great day. Thank you.